hunting trip today, or detecting trip. Don't ever say hunting because people think you're going to bang bang when you're asking permission. My friend John here. Where are we, John?
We're outside of Conway, South Carolina.
Yeah, man. Want to find stuff today?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Now, have you hunted this area? Or?
I have not. I have not.
Oh, brand new?
Brand new.
Got a cool house over there with
Yeah,
a gigantic tree. You won't believe how big this thing is. Can't really see it from here, but I'm going to show it to you up close.
Go for
All right.
it.
Look at that wisteria. Isn't that pretty? It smells really good. I got tons of wisteria at my house, but it has electric running to it. It's on modern cinder blocks. People were living here, you know, probably 30, 40, 50 years ago. Probably less than that, actually, by the looks of that. But looking at the construction of the house, there's lots of square nails in it. So it is an older house. I'm sure what that's all about. Check this tree out. This is what makes the place. It makes me believe that there's a really old place here. Look at that thing. That's what they call a live oak. Huge spreading branches. Got the moss growing on it, the Spanish moss, and there's all kinds of epiphytes on the top there. See all the little plants growing, the little ferns and other things. There's trees growing out of it. That's an opportunistic tree right there. Let's go look at some Spanish moss since we're here. You always have to do that when you're in this part of the country. What do you think? Everyone always puts that on their head because it's fun to do, but it's full of bugs. It's always full of bugs. We might take a look at the inside of the house, but I want to get out here and detect it with John there before he gets all the gold and silver coins. Never hunted here. He thinks other people may have a long time ago because there were some iron like up on the porch and stuff, but just listening, I heard a lot of good targets. So 60s, you know, and people should have dug 60s if they really dogged the place. Anything yet?
Nothing yet.
Oh man, soon. Just want you to listen to hear how much iron is in here. Today I'm hunting with the AT Max, zero discrimination. I'm gonna bump that up just for superstitious sake to 2 maximum sensitivity, but listen to the iron. Lots of good iron. Like I said, I heard some good signals when I came across the yard. Big shovel right there. And I want to show you something I did find just before I turn the camera on. Oyster shell. So far, it hasn't been real great. I'm finding tons of aluminum. That's that piece of melted aluminum that was actually way down at the bottom in the natural soil down there that hasn't been turned over. So that's not a real good sign. It does tell me people probably haven't dug here. If you look right over there, that's a fire ant nest, and we want to be very careful about digging too close to those because there's little tiny ants, and then when they bite you, it feels like fire, hence fire ants. I'll show you some really neat mounds out in the field when we work our way out that direction. First dug this thing, I had no idea what it was, but it's obviously some type of pull tab. Read pretty high, which is discouraging because you know, that's right in the coin signal for some reason, coin range. So I'm a little bit worried about that. If this place is littered with these things and I'm stuck with just digging like the 80s and 90s, we'll probably go out in the field and try to find an unhunted old site where there's none of this junk. It's just good stuff, just good buttons, good coins, good gold coins. I don't think I'm going to find any here. I've already dug so much junk, I'm pretty discouraged. Well, this has been a huge disappointment, although I'll have to admit I'm not surprised. Anytime you're detecting a house that has electricity running to it, you know you're going to be in for a world of hurt when it comes to modern stuff. This yard is completely littered with bottle caps, chopped up cans, you know, from people when they mow around here. They, you know, hit the beer cans or the soda cans and those pieces everywhere. It's almost impossible to hunt. In fact, for me, it's impossible. Now, John's friend here has at least 100 acres, so we have a lot of land to cover. I don't want to waste my time here, but I even went underneath the big branch there, looking for where the kids might have lost their change on a swing. You know there was a swing on that tree at one point. I walked down through here where the pathway would have come out of the house. Nothing, just junk, junk, junk. Let's take a quick peek inside. What do you think? Be a little careful because the boards are rotted. You can see wood fall right through that. So what we need to do is step on the joist. So you see that line of nails? That's going to be solid, probably. Same way here. There should be a line of nails right here. That's the joist. Safe. Safe. You can see lots of termite damage. This is all termite damage right here. And we'll just peek inside. I don't know if it's safe to go in. Look at those spiders. Oh my God. Look at that. You can see how it gets sucked into a hole there. So you know there's a bunch of giant spiders in there just waiting. Of course, you see those things right there. Those are mud daubers, and they eat spiders. Those are their nests. What they do is they go around, they catch spiders. And, well, first they build these tubes. They're hollow. They catch a spider. They jam it up in the end and seal him off in there. And the spider's alive, but he's been poisoned, so he's like just barely alive. He's like almost hibernating, but definitely alive. Puts a spider in that tube, lays an egg, seals over the cell, starts another cell for another spider, another egg. Egg hatches, and guess what? He's got a meal. So the little grub comes out of the egg, and he immediately starts sucking on that spider who's still alive until he sucks him dry, and then he breaks a hole in the clay, which you can see right there, and he flies out and away he goes, and he goes looking for more spiders, mud daubers. They make a lot of noise when they're building those, when they're building those nests. And they look like a wasp, except they're purple and shiny. So if you see a purple, shiny wasp flying around, don't hurt it, because he's looking for those spiders. Now, they will sting you, but you have to, like, grab them. You know, they're not going to come after you. They're not territorial. You can put your hand up there when he's building that thing, and he won't bother you one bit. But if you grab them or sit on them, they might sting you. So those purple big wasps, leave them alone, okay? Quick look inside. Make sure there's no water moccasins in here. Yeah, okay, we're not going to go around too much. I don't know what the floor is like, but maybe we will. All right, somebody had a bedroom here. I'm probably not going to go up the steps. But I think we can walk around here a little bit. Oh, it's a bird nest. Look at that. Let's go look at the bird nest. Not sure what kind of bird. Not in there yet. He'll be in there soon. Yeah, I don't think this is a very old house at all. I mean, it could be 100 years, but it's not 200 for sure. I'm not going to go in here because it's all rotted. A little bit of furniture. Nothing looks terribly old, does it? Although you notice the windows are wavy, and there's 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then 6 more. That's called 6 over 6. That's an indication of a very old house, like Civil War era maybe, or even before. I'm not really familiar with the construction methods down here in South Carolina, so this could very well be a pre-Civil War house. I don't know, but it's definitely got a lot of junk in the yard, so we're getting out of here. So John and I are going to split from here, and we're going to head out this path. But as I was walking on the edge of the porch, there's a pile of iron here, so this has been metal detected for sure. This is actually the back porch, and looky here. This is a good indication that somebody was metal detecting here already. They just laid all their iron up here that they found. That looks like a modern weld almost. So, yeah, let's split. I think we're going to have really good luck in the fields. We drove through the fields on the way over to here, and just looks like some really good spots out there. So we're headed back to the vehicle, and we're cutting through this little swampy area. Here, swampy. There, swampy. But we're on like a little causeway, a raised area that goes right through the middle of it. Now, when we first came over, there's a road over there that we followed in. But I'm thinking now, the house is right there. Right there, and that old tree is in line with a lane that goes out to the old road. I'm thinking that just maybe this is maybe this is the old road that we're standing on right now that goes to a plantation house that's going to be straight back here in the woods. Right back in there somewhere. We're going to just keep going straight back there and see what we can find. Now, John, he wants to get out in the fields. There's a bunch of fields on this property, but it's so windy out there, I couldn't do a video, so we wanted to start here. But I'm going to just kind of take a beeline, just a hunch, go straight that way, and see if I can find the remains of an old plantation house. Well, my hunch isn't panning out too well. I'm probably a good quarter of a mile from the house that we were at. In a straight line, hit a swamp. So there's no road that went through there. There's no causeway there. Unfortunately, it's all grown up, so I could barely even dig coming through there. I didn't get a lot of signals, but I wasn't able to really search. So we are going to move out of this area. And unfortunately for me, I left my jacket hanging in the tree at the old house. John's already moved off that direction with the vehicle to a different part of the property. I was going to circle around and meet him, but we have to go back. But I'm just going to hunt this a little bit more on the way back because I'm not giving up. I came through it pretty fast. Just a little bit more, 5 more minutes. Before I forget, we did check around in the field back there on the way through and there's nothing. But I'm almost back to that house and I was coming along this causeway. This is where I made the causeway video. Huge amount of iron right here. And I'm digging some stuff. This is what I think is probably like a winder to a watch or something. So I don't know how old it is, but it's loaded with iron right through here. So maybe there was an old house that sat right here. If you notice off in the bushes, there's a little bit of a rise. So that could have been where it sat. I actually dug around there. There's tons of iron, a little bit of brick, some aluminum. So I'm a little bit worried about that, but at least we did find this. Now, if we find 1 or 2 more things, I'll go over and get my jacket and make the phone call to John, who is out that way already. Well, text. I don't talk on the phone. I only text. So I cut back over here in the woods. John's over there working along a roadway in a ridge that supposedly has an unmarked grave over there. Saw this big tree right here in the woods, so I thought I'd come down and just check around here. Looks like an old spring maybe. Hearing a little bit of iron, but not a lot. But I got a creature over here that's dead. Not gross or anything, just bones. But we're gonna look at it together, see what it is, because I have no idea from here. Do you? What the heck is that thing? Possum? Maybe? Looks like possum fur. Is that a possum skull? Oh, yeah, it's a little possum. It fell apart. Yeah, it's an opossum or a possum. I think probably a pretty young one by how small and fragile it is. But there are actually, possums are actually marsupials. When they have their babies, they carry them around in a pouch, just like an old kangaroo. Very, very ancient animal. Okay, we're gonna go back up on this ridge right here. I can see it's been cut out a little bit. That's not natural, and I'm hoping that maybe there's a home site up there. Something I'm curious about, if any of you guys can tell me, you see these big holes back here? They look almost like sinkholes. I'm kind of curious as to how they form. I have no idea. You know, like in New England and other places I've been, when you see these, that's glacial. Glacial in origin, but the glaciers didn't make it down here to the coast of South Carolina, as far as I know, and it's just sand, no rocks, nothing around here. These little divots are all through the woods, full of water, and I just can't work it out in my head. The process, the natural process, it took to make those things. Can you? So I'm on the fields now, and we kind of put this off because it's really windy. I know it's going to be hard for the video audio, but you can see this big open field that stretch about as far as you can see, or at least down to those trees, and we're going to hunt all of these. A lot of junk right here, I would imagine. That's an old barn, and you can see that the field's been burned. That's a natural process. Well, not a natural process, but that's something they do down here, is they burn fields off regularly. So it kills all the little trees and the little bushes and stuff and allows the grass to come back up. So we're going to hunt this. We're going to watch out for those little mounds out there, which are the fire ants. I'll show you one real quick. This is a fire ant mound. If I kick it, it's going to be loaded with fire ants. I'm going to try not to get them on my leg, but I want to show it to you. Wait, there you go, buddy. Stomp your feet because they're all over me. But if you look, you see them? Now, they don't look like much, but you get them on you and they will bite and bite and bite, and you will just be on fire with pain. And there's, you know, millions of them in that thing, and they're all over the fields. It's an invasive pest. If they could kill every one of them, they would. But they're really hard to kill. I mean, they kind of like, you put pesticide on them one year, next year they'd eat it, you know? It's like they're fine with it. Very, very hardy creatures. and they're mad. I hope they don't have phones because we're going to be in a field full of them. So I've not found anything good yet. In fact, there's almost 0 iron in this field, which is not a good sign if you're looking for home sites. I wanted to show you this little area though. Look at all the, I guess it might be, I don't know if that's ants, I don't know. But it's obviously, they're not fire ants or some different variety of ant, if that's what it is. No idea. If you guys know, please let me know. Again, we're in South Carolina toward the coast. I have never seen anything quite like it, where they're just spread out in this circle right here. Now this is probably an area where obviously that darker sand is located. Maybe they like that darker sand, but it doesn't go too far. It just goes out that way a little bit, circles back in here, and then it's all through here. I kicked a few of the holes, nothing's coming out. So I have no idea what they are. Maybe they're gold coin hoarders. Now seriously though, if you know what they are, let me know. I'm very curious about that. I'm not real hopeful we're going to find much in here, but it's a very interesting looking area. I thought we'd explore this together, and hopefully we won't get bitten by a water moccasin, because they are in here for sure. And lots of cypress knees. I guess that maybe that's like a little oxbow from a creek. Watch out for snakes. Maybe it's from where they mined. I don't know. You mine sand or it's something down here. I don't know. Kind of weird looking now. I see a bunch of sand. Oh, you know what? I remember John telling me now that there's actually a like a little stream over here that I guess the Army Corps of Engineers dug out back in the 1930s or something. That's probably the sand I'm seeing. So, oh, I just swallowed a bug. Let's go look at it. It's a great place for a picnic, doesn't it? This would have been an old ditch that they could have used for moving stuff back in the day. But yeah, this has been dug out recently, for sure. Well, recently, 1930s. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Wow, that's awesome, man. There's so much stuff there. Walk up here for a minute and take a look at the water. See if we can see any oyster shells or arrowheads. Supposedly, this farm is loaded with Indian artifacts. This particular field up here, we're gonna go look at after a while. That they've plowed, but I don't know if it's rained on it since it plowed, so it might be really hard to see stuff. Yeah, that's what it is. So that could have been used to transport stuff down to the coast back in the day. Of course, it has been dug out by modern machinery. It's then. All right, let's go back out in the field, see what we can find. Just not having much luck yet, but we're getting to the part of the farm really where there's some giant live oaks, and I think there's probably a house there. So don't give up hope yet. Pretty cool. What? Yeah, I've got a musket ball. I want to see it. More than I found. Oh yeah, look at that. That's cute.
It's the best find of the day.
Yeah, I mean that's not only that's dropped too, isn't it? I would think. Well, hard to say. Yeah, it is the best find of the day so far. Congratulations.
On the board, huh?
On the board. You know, there seems to be a lot more iron in this field than any field I've been in so far, so it's hopeful.
Yeah, we knew that when we got here.
Yeah.
We were just playing the other spots just to check it out.
Yeah, stay out of the wind as long as we could, but now we're in it. Well, we're kind of getting down to the last place to detect, and it's probably the best place because you can see it is a grove of like big oak trees. And I just got a signal, dug it, and it's my best find of the day so far. That is a bracelet. There's a clip right there. Big old brass one. I don't know how old it is. Might not even be as old as me for all I know, but my best find so far. This is probably where a house stood, I would think. There's a lot of iron here, but I just got here and John's heading down across the field right now, so hopefully we'll find something good here in a minute. I have a good feeling about this place. So we moved off of the other property and scooted down the road just a little bit because we really didn't find anything there. I mean, we hunted hard, didn't we? We hunted hard. We got like, you know, one musket ball, and that was it. I mean, it's probably the best find, really. So, but this is an old home site that a lot of people, local diggers, have been here digging. But he wanted to show it to me. It's really cool. I mean, it's nothing but like brick stuff, but A lot of people have been back here, I guess, sifting and looking for things. So it's some open holes, but I wanted to show you a couple things. That's an area there where, you know, diggers have been digging it out, and I don't know if they're sifting or just looking for stuff. But I want to show you these cool bricks. These are like really super old bricks. They made them with shells. You can see all the little shells in there. I guess lime and sand, but a lot different than the bricks we see back home, which are more like this. You know, the red bricks, but those are like old bricks. And they're digging them out of here. And from what I understand, there's been some buttons found in here. You say a few coins and buttons and stuff. So, and you say it's hunted out. Everybody and their uncle's been back here.
Except for Jig.
Except with a Chig, that's right. Figured this would be a good place to really just kind of buckle down for the end of the day and try to eke out 1 or 2 good targets. So let's get to it before the sun sets. You say you had some like coyotes back here, right? Chasing you and freaking you out. And
Came face to face with one.
all right, so let's get to it. Huh? Dig it. Some I don't know, hoe. I don't think that's too old. An 82 maybe? Oh, there's some pieces of a stove. Of course, everything's a piece of a stove, it seems, but that really is. So let's just check out 1 target here before I get started. Ah, nice. Doesn't look like it's too hard digging, just a few roots, huh?
Yeah, it's a little bit more muffled.
One way, yeah. A lot of times when you get the top removed, it changes the signal for the good or bad. Bricks and stuff down there too, huh?
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. Still saying something's there. Let's see the pinpoint, see if it gets any better.
If he takes too much longer, I'm gonna get started. I'll just set the camera down. So we only have what, an hour or so, probably, maybe 2 at the most. It gets dark. Yeah, nice brick. Look at that. There's a regular brick, and then the big old like tabby-like bricks. Got something down there. Huh?
Something there.
Bring any snacks?
Yes, I did.
Like a tablecloth I can set up, and maybe I shouldn't pick on them.
It's on.
You know what that is?
Iron.
It's a discrimination thing. So you're probably discriminating it out now.
Yep.
Or it's a little gold coin right in the bottom of the hole, that loose dirt.
Yeah, it's not there. It's gone.
I give up on it
I give up on
officially. You sure it's not something like the bottom of the hole? Maybe it's a little gold coin. Maybe it fell down. I think we'll check it one more time. Nah. All right. Son, let me show you how it's done.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I just listened to Devil Went Down to George on the way down here, so it's fresh in my mind. All right, I'm gonna get to it. I figured I'd start in this area right here that the how the guides had dug out, just kind of go over it, see if they missed anything. I got a little squeaker here, I think. You hear all the iron. Listen to the iron in here. So it's quite a bit, not too crazy, but quite a bit. But I think it might be a squeaker. Is it? I'm a little bit suspicious of that one signal. All right, I'll kind of get that out and spread it around a little bit. I have to move you again. All right, let's try this. It's still in there. Right, let's go ahead and pull all this back just in case. This is stuff they already dug out, so it may not be anything. Yeah, move these bricks aside. There's big chunks of iron on this. I can see it right where I set the camera. There's a giant chunk of iron. All right, let me spread this around, and we'll give her a listen to. There's a Piece of iron there. That's not what we heard though, I don't think. Iron. Iron. Not hearing it now. Move it one more time. Still hearing a little bit of a squeak, but not much. That's probably iron there. I dropped it. This shell here, that's called a quahog, or hard shell clam, I guess I might call that around here, which is different than like an oyster shell. That's an oyster shell. Now, oysters are like high class. Quahogs are like lower class. That's almost a cherry stone, but I love quahogs, and they make really good pie. Quahog pie is awesome. My mom made the best. A big piece of that stove was mostly buried. I think his buddies missed a few things. Got a nice signal here. Went ahead and dug it up already, but it's something kind of cool. I mean, it's not like awesome, but it's my best find of the day. Like the last 10 minutes of the day. You see it? I think it's a suspender buckle. Yeah, I think. Almost looks like it's silver, but it's probably just silvered. Yeah, that's a nice little find right there. And it was right where they were digging, so they missed some targets. I think it could be silver, actually. Alright, we'll get it cleaned up and maybe show it to you a little bit later. So as you can see, I have this giant hole going here. I'm digging out lots of oyster shells and bricks and nails and stuff. I just dug this. I have no idea what that thing is. Do you? Looks almost like zinc, but I suspect it's not. First I thought maybe an ore lock, but I think it's way too light. Unless it's one of those things that rest your musket on, because that's possible. I think this is a really early home site, from what I understand. I thought it does look pretty crude. You can see it's not very straight, so that could be an interesting one right there. As you can see, the hole is really deep, and I'm just pulling stuff out. So I'm going to keep going there just for a little while longer. Then we'll have to fill it in. Maybe we'll come back here tomorrow. I don't know. I kind of like this spot. I think it has good potential for us. Well, that was a nice big target. It's a big old iron, flat iron. Whew. Okay, let's have a nice big old silver coin next. What do you say? I'm gonna put that over in a pile of my other stuff. This is kind of a neat little find. It was right in the leaves. It's an exploded percussion cap, I do believe. Almost looks like it could be the base to a bullet, but I'm pretty sure that's a percussion cap right there. Which would make it Civil War era, probably. You know, give or take a decade or two. Good big iron signal in there, so I dug it out. And it's full of oyster shells, naturally. But check this thing out. This is like a Maddox head. I guess it's broken there, but boy, it looks like it was worn to a nub, huh? Wow. That's pretty cool right there. I don't think I'm going to be saving it though. So I think we're pretty much getting ready to wrap it up. John's over there somewhere, but we're going to get out of here and back to the vehicle before it gets dark. This thingy, now I think I found one of these a few years ago and went through the same thing about it being a rest for a musket. And it turned out to be a fire dog, something for a fireplace. Now I don't think that's what this is because it's very lightweight. So I suspect that's not what it is, but it certainly does have the appearance of it, I guess. Oh, it goes like this, maybe. Yeah, that's its leg. No, doesn't make any sense what I just said. We'll see you on the next video. I promise. What you get?
A pewter
dude.
spoon handle.
That's nice. Good signal?
74.
I bet. Yeah, man, awesome. I noticed there's a lot of oyster shells in here too, huh?
I think we can stay another 15 minutes.
Yeah, I bet you do. Yeah, look at all the oyster shells. Not too far from a home site, so maybe there was one here too. I have a button. Look at that.
Jealous.
Yeah, it took me a while to figure out that's what it was. I was thinking it was a shotgun shell. But yeah, you can definitely see it was actually broken right there. That's the shank on the back, and it pulled through, so it's like somebody got their jacket ripped off right here. Probably a big fight over gold coins. They're scattered all over the ground right here. All right, man, we got a butt.
Earth, you are my lady, my big round baby, and I'll rock you until I go to sleep. She'll shake the coins from your pocket, take your gold chain and your locket. Mother Earth has no sympathy. She'll take the